guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Luando Joko Speliti. I am a wife. I am a mom of 3 beautiful kids, aged 4, 2 and 1. Crazy, I know. We're still in the new year festive vibe, so I hope everyone is still doing great. Still, having that a bit of motivation for the year and just goals set. So today I'm going to talk about transitioning from 2 to 3 kids. Like, as you know, I have 3 kids of myself, and I just wanted to talk about this because I don't know, man, it just seems a bit easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down a little bit because I've written everything down here in my notebooks so that I don't ramble on and I stick to the point of what I'm trying to say. Okay, so firstly, let's just talk about the 3rd pregnancy. I didn't know I was pregnant. I didn't want to be pregnant. I didn't want a 3rd child. We had 2, girl and a boy. I was very happy, and then surprise, there was a 3rd pregnancy. I was obviously on contraceptives that failed me hard. So one thing I can even say about my 3rd pregnancy was that, oh my gosh, guys, it flew. When I say it flew, it literally felt like I just found out I was pregnant, and next thing I was giving birth. Everything went like this, and I was a powerhouse, man. I was alone with 2 of my kids at that stage. Their ages were 3 and my son was almost 1. Yes, crazy. My son was almost 1. No, my daughter was 2 or 2.5. I'm not sure. 2.5, and my son was almost 1. But I'd go to the mall, get them ready for school, drop them off to a daycare in the mornings, get back home, go shopping, all of that. I didn't feel the pain. It was just easier because I already knew what pregnancy looked like and what I'd feel like. So because I've been pregnant for so many times over so many years without really a break, it was like, here we go again. When it comes to my emotions, wow, guys, I gave birth and I felt great. I was pumping. Like, I didn't have the postnatal depression that I had like my other kids. I suffered with my first, suffered even worse with my second, which is why I didn't even want a 3rd pregnancy, because I was just scared, man. Like, that postpartum depression is everything. So emotionally, I was just at a much better place when I gave birth. Everything just fell into place, man. So it also just felt like, for me, because I'd already been so used to having multiple kids or more than 1 child, having a 3rd wasn't much of a big transition for me. But yeah, I'm going to talk about my hardest transitions with kids, right? My hardest transition has to be from 0 to 1 child and then 1 to 2. Not obviously having no kids, your life is normal. Like, you just have you and your husband to take care of, or yourself, depending on what your situation is. And, whenever you go anywhere, you don't have to worry about anything. Whereas when you have a child, if you go anywhere, you need to get the diaper bag, figure out how many nappies you must take with. If you're formula feeding, you gotta take a formula dispatcher. If you're breastfeeding and you're uncomfortable, you need to be sure that there's breastfeeding points or you have a breastfeeding cover. It's just a lot of things to think about when you go from 0 to 1 child. And also the fact that you just, there's something called a primary parent, and unfortunately as the mom, you become the primary parent because the baby relies on you so much in their first year that you literally forget about yourself. It's all about feeding and taking care and making sure that this baby that you brought into this world lives healthily, So yeah, the transition from 0 to 1 child is a lot. I don't even want to talk about postpartum dysmorphia and your body and what you go through and how you feel and self-confidence. So for me, that was the hardest transition. Wow. When you go and look on Instagram and other people have bounced back, they look amazing, they look great. And then there's you and you're like, I still look like an egg. I still look like I'm pregnant. But of course, you forget that there's things like liposuction or just, genetics that allow other people to just bounce back quickly. So yeah. That was a lot. Also, just taking into consideration wherever you're going, when you do have kids, is family-friendly places. You can't just go to any restaurant now. You got to go to a family-friendly restaurant. The place that you're going to you must ensure that there's enough entertainment for kids, and you'll just never have a quiet house. Like now, even when I'm recording, you'll hear people crying in the background. Like, it is what it is. Like, silence is just weird unless people are sleeping at night. And then from 1 to 2 kids, that was the medium transition. There was a lot of guilt because you've had your number one baby, they've had your attention the whole entire time. Then comes another baby into the picture. I think that was also quite a hard transition because your number one is so used to having you around and playing with you and everything else. Then you have a baby. So the baby's on you, you're breastfeeding, but number one still wants to play with you, and so the ages are quite awkward at the beginning stage, and you can't even establish a routine because here you have a toddler, then you have a baby. Well, for me, my age gap was almost 2 years for my first and second. So for me as well, and just having more than one person to worry about, because at that stage, my toddler had come out of the baby stage. She was a toddler, so I had grown with her, and now I kind of had to rewind back to baby stage again and still be toddler stage. But luckily, my firstborn has always been so independent. She doesn't care to play with anyone but herself. She knows what she wants when she wants it. So she did help in that regard. And of course, when baby number 2 grew up to be a toddler, then the bond just happened between them and they were inseparable. And they just played together so well. From the minute they wake up to when they sleep, they're like this. And that's really nice when they get to that stage when you have 2 kids. So there, I learned a lot of things. I was able to learn routine, syncing their routines. I was able to get them to both eat the same kind of foods, activity times, more or less at the same time. Obviously, my secondborn, my son, he would take 2 naps in the day, whereas my toddler, my firstborn, a girl, she was taking 1 nap a day. But that was fine because everything else was syncing together. Emotionally, I was just... Yes, I had a bit of, I did have postpartum depression even after number 2, only because it was a lot. Like I said, there's 2 little people now who depend on you, and you go from having a little bit of time to no time at all. Because sometimes when he falls asleep for his first nap, she's awake, and then you try to get them to both fall asleep for the second nap, and you have that 2 to 3 hour window, and then it's back to nappies. I get even traveling with them. It means that put one in the trolley, put one here on the thing in front of you, and traveling with 2 people, making sure they stay in their car seats. It was a lot, but I learned a lot, and so I got used to having 2 kids. Then moving on to the easiest transition for me, it has to be from 2 to 3. Oh my God, my daughter came into the world and she just blended into the family. When I say blended, I already had 2 kids, so I already knew what it was like to have more than one child. The 2 kids are both toddlers. They are like this every day from morning until night. They play together, they eat together, they sleep together. Their routine is so tight and in sync. They literally run like little robots unless someone falls or they're having meltdowns or they want attention time. So when I was breastfeeding baby, they didn't even care. Like sometimes I think they legit forgot that there was another baby in the house because their life continued, and I was the one who was pumping and breastfeeding in between and changing baby's nappy. And sometimes they'd notice and be like, oh, hey, there's the baby, try and make her laugh. And then, but life continued, man. It was just so easy. And once I had my third, I thought in me was like, if I'd have a number 4 or 5, it would be like, okay, whatever. And I don't say that I'm going to have a 4 or 5. I legit am done. But what I'm trying to say is that it was just so easy. I was a pro at routines. I was a pro at multitasking. I was a pro at being able to break up little fights if they're fighting. I was a pro at being alert, being able to make food this side, have my one eye on this child, one eye on this one, and aware of the other one in the crib. Like your multitasking and your mom instincts and your instincts in general are just like heightened when you have multiple kids, because you're just aware that whatever you're doing, you always have to be aware of your surroundings and you have to look around all the time at what's happening. And then, like I said, the flow was natural and relaxing and easy. I became more minimalistic. I literally waited until I think a week before I gave birth to even buy clothes, because I just knew exactly what I wanted, what items of clothing baby would need, which ones they wouldn't use. All those extra items you get when you first have a baby, they go to waste. I didn't do none of that, guys. I still had the changing station from my firstborn that I used with my secondborn. With my third, I change her anywhere, man. If we're playing on the floor with my kids, I just bring a blanket, put her on the blanket, change her on there. If I'm on the couch, I'm changing her on the couch. Like, I didn't need all these other extra accessories for everything, when it came to taking care of the baby, which made things so easy. I even knew once she moved to formula, I knew how much formula to buy, not to be wasteful. I knew which nappies to buy, how many to buy. So I just became a minimalist, and my house became less cluttered with the third, and I was just able to merge her clothes into the other kids' wardrobes and make space for her easily without any issues. And then one thing that is a bit hard is being outnumbered. When you have 2 kids, it's easy. 1 runs off, you go, your husband goes for the other one. 3, you kind of have to say to the eldest, you wait here. You wait here while you run for that one, your husband runs for that one, but you still try and keep an eye on number 3. Shopping with them is just, I do it. I shop with them a lot. I go to the mall. I do everything with my kids by myself, especially because I was homeschooling them, and my husband works from morning until 5-6 p.m. So I was alone with them. And so I would baby wrap my newborn to myself, my second born in the trolley on that thing that faces me, and then my third born in the trolley. And then I'd give her my phone, or put both of the toddlers in the trolley and give them a phone to share and watch while I do my thing quickly. And when I go to the stores, it's an in and out. Guys, I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly which aisle. I know exactly what I'm buying, and I'm out. Because if I'm going to go to the mall, I'm going to linger around, meltdowns are going to happen. Someone's going to want to go to the toilet. Someone's going to be touching this while I'm in the toilet. It's a lot. Especially now that my third is walking and she is not about that pram. She is over it. So everything has to be skillful and precise in what you do. For example, if I go with them to the mall now that she's older and she's not being carried, I put her in her pram, facing towards the people. I let one toddler hold one side of the pram and the other side, and we walk like that. They are not allowed to let go of that pram at any point in time in the mall, otherwise we turn around and we go home. And I stick to it, guys, especially when it comes to really getting them to behave when you're in a space outside of the house. If one lets go or starts acting ambitious and wants to go out there and go and run into stores, I turn around and we go back to the car and go home. They will cry, but they know that, do that again, and we go home. So now they're actually quite angels. They're really good at just holding onto the pram. We go to the mall, like I said, a quick in and out, get what I need to, and then come back home. Another thing that made it easy for me was that now I was able to accept help when I got help offered. When you have your first child, I felt like, I got this. I brought a human into this world. I can do it all by myself. I don't need anyone's help. Lies. You need all the help and accept all the help that you get, because you are human. You're not a machine. Now with 3 kids, someone's like, hey, if you ever need me or you want me to watch your kids, call. Girl, I'm going to call you. I'm calling you tomorrow because I'm going to leave with my kids. I'm going out. I'm kidding. Not just anyone, but what I'm trying to say is when someone offers their help, I take it and I allow it. If my mom is here to watch the kids, usually what I do is, get up, clean, make breakfast, make this. By the time she leaves, I'm exhausted because I've been doing so much. Now, if she says, hey, I'll be at your house by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, I know my kids wake up at 7 a.m. She gets me in bed and she just slowly takes each child who wakes up and she does breakfast for them, she watches them, and I'll wake up at 11 a.m. if I need to, because I'm accepting the help. So by the time I wake up, I'm so rejuvenated and refreshed, and I feel so free. And I know that, do you know what? My mom raised all of us, me and my sisters, and we're fine. We're alive. My kids aren't gonna die if I sleep an extra 3 hours. So I'm so much more carefree. Also, those colds and flus where they cough once, you take them to the doctor. I have my own pharmacy now. I know how to take care of the little flus or the little allergy reactions and all of that. And obviously I know once that fails, then rush to the doctor and if something seems really bad. But I just feel like I'm a pro mom. And I don't say I know everything. I just feel like now I can say I'm a mom. And so there's some things been there, done that. Teething, know what to do. Little coughs, know what to do. Allergy, know what to do, So yeah, and apparently from what I've heard from some of my mom friends who have more than 3 kids, they're like, girl, you even forget, like number 4 and number 5, it literally is just another day. There's nothing majorly that's a change. Everything just goes into place. And My oldest, she's 4. She loves teaching. She loves teaching them new things. My 2-year-old is literally my 4-year-old's shadow. He copies and does almost everything she does. My 1-year-old is just exploring the world and just having so much thrown at her. Everything to her is exciting. So you can imagine they play so nice together. They look out for each other. They're excited when one wakes up, for naps. They literally wake each other up, because if my 4-year-old wakes up before anyone else, she's waking everybody up, because she's like, guys, let's go, let's play. So yeah, man, emotionally I'm at such a better space. I'm happy, I'm excited, and all I can say is that like I said, you've got this. Being a parent is a trial and error. You're never perfect, but you keep working on different ways to become a better parent. And as long as you're able to see things you need to work on, man, you're already doing so well. So on that note, if you have any other question when it comes to multiple kids, parenting tips, all of that, you know what to do. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Let me know how your transitions have been. If you're about to transition, what are you nervous about? You can let me know all of that. I always do comment and always respond to everyone who comments down below. So yeah, again guys, thank you so much for the support. We're at 800, almost 1,000. I'm so excited. I'll keep these sort of sit down educational videos coming as well, because I feel like that's what really got me to where I am right now. So I'll do like a vlog, sit down vlog, sit down like that, just to bring back what made me really enjoy creating YouTube videos. But yeah, on that note, I hope everyone enjoys their day, enjoys their new year and their January, and we'll see each other soon. Bye.